What's up everyone, it's Vu. I'm back with another video. It has been a long time. I've not posted on this channel for quite a bit. This channel is known for three things. Primarily, trash content. 2, snakehead and bass fishing. And 3, my truck. First of all, there's nothing wrong with my truck. I don't really mod it. I daily drive it, so there hasn't been too much to talk about. Secondly, it's been winter and it's cold, so I haven't been fishing. My self-esteem cannot handle going out to the cold, looking down my pants and see that there's nothing there anymore, because there's not much there to begin with anyway, in the summer even. So there you have it. With that said, I'm gonna try to make this video very quick, considering the amount of lights I have on right now to be able to light this scene properly. Only my fellow filmmakers will understand this, but let's get to it. Today, I'm talking about the Ugly Stik Inshore carbon rods, casting and spinning. And I know some of you serious bass fishermen out there watching this YouTube channel on your dad's fishing boat right now, you're probably saying, dude, Ugly Stiks are Walmart specials. What are you doing with those trash rods? They are stiff, they have no sensitivity. If you want to take bass fishing seriously, you got to go out and get that St. Croix custom BBC deep throater rod to be able to reel in that elusive 10-pounder. I get it. Primarily speaking, Ugly Stiks are known to be those big 10-foot rods you see out on the rivers. A bunch of those Asian immigrants out there catching catfish and undersized other fish to make soups and other dishes for your local Chinese food restaurant. And that is actually why I buy Ugly Stik rods, is because I've grown up seeing my dad and uncles buying them. They're strong, they last forever, and I've seen them reel in a bunch of fish of various sizes. So I've owned pretty much no other rods other than Ugly Stiks since I got back into fishing several years back. And yeah, I've had no problems with them. I've been primarily freshwater fishing for snakehead, and I'll accidentally catch bass from time to time. And I've been using the Ugly Stik Carbon, the red ones, freshwater casting rods and spinning rods. And they've been fantastic. But I do look forward to visiting my parents more often in Delaware. And obviously there's a lot more saltwater fishing action going on over there. So I decided I wanted to get some rods that I could use for saltwater and maybe, probably also be able to use for freshwater. And of course, Ugly Stik released these new inshore carbon rods. I've been looking on YouTube and I didn't see any other videos talking about these rods in detail and comparing them to the standard carbon rods. So I am here to do that for you, just in case you're interested. So right here I have the medium 7-foot extra fast action Ugly Stik inshore casting rod, and I've paired up with the squall reel, pen squall reel. This is, I believe, the 300 model, the gear ratio 7:1, and I've used it once before on my other Ugly Stik rod, and it's a really nice reel. At least it feels like it. So overall, this rod, what you don't see on pictures online and stuff is how nice it actually is. Like, the baby blue looks kind of flat and bland in pictures online, but it is actually very metallic, very nice looking. I usually prefer black, red, obviously, and gray type of rods, but I really like this baby blue, or Carolina blue, whatever you want to call it, especially over those bright orange and bright lime greens you see a bunch of fishing tube douchers use. But yes, really nice rod, really nice quality overall. Definitely the best quality rod I've owned, and overall just more beefy than the standard carbon rods. You're talking about overall beefier guides, and these guides are like a lot different in size compared to the standard carbon or the GX2s, especially on the spinning rods. Like, the guides are a lot bigger. And another thing I've noticed, and I don't know if this is just generally speaking how inshore rods are versus freshwater, but the medium rods, in terms of how much lure weight it handles and just how it looks and feels, it feels more like a medium heavy freshwater Ugly Stik carbon rod. And obviously the medium heavy inshore rod feels a lot more like a heavy standard freshwater rod. And of course the lure rating is also very similar too. So that's something to think about if you're looking to buy one of these inshore rods to use for saltwater, but also you want to use it for freshwater, that you may want to go a step down. If you're accustomed to fishing for bass or other freshwater species with like a medium rod, you might want to look at a medium light inshore rod, at least for this Ugly Stik brand. I'm no expert. I'm just going by feel and the look of the lure. I actually haven't even used this rod yet, and I plan to probably within the next week or so. But yeah, I have myself a medium light, a medium, and a medium heavy casting Ugly Stik inshore, Ugly Stik inshore casting rod. And for the spinning inshore rods, I have a medium and a medium heavy. I do plan on using these for freshwater fishing as well. I just like the idea of being able to use the same gear for freshwater and saltwater. I've heard you could probably just use your freshwater stuff for saltwater too, but then you got to make sure as soon as you're done, you want to like rinse that off. I don't know, I just feel kind of sketched out. Let's say you're on an 8-hour trip out on saltwater, you know, your rod and reel is taking a beating on that salt for the whole day. And who knows when you'll be able to get back in to get some fresh water on there and dry it off properly and all that stuff. So, you know, you're out there spending, you know, $100 or something, $200 on your setup, and you don't want it getting all jacked up. And of course, there's dudes, you know, and another reason why I use these Ugly Stiks is because some of these dudes are spending $300, $400 on their rods, and then I see them snapping in half, pulling in 4-pound bass. Like, why is your rod snapping, pulling in a 4-pound bass onto the shore? Like, what kind of trash is that? I guess it's a sensitive rod, but there's no reason a 400-pound rod should be snapping in half anywhere. But yeah, so overall, that is things you want to look at. Another thing you want to consider when you're purchasing these Ugly Stik Carbon Inshore rods is, as you can see, this is the medium version, and the grip is for bait casters. It's, you know, you could tell it's designed well. You could probably put a conventional reel in here, but you could definitely use this with, you know, a bait caster. It has like a nice little grip here. It's just familiar to another bass rod. However, if you just go up to the medium heavy inshore casting rod, the grip is different. This thing is made more for a conventional reel. That's what it says, and I didn't realize that. So there's nothing here to like help you hold your finger like a typical casting rod would, that a typical bass casting rod would. And so, you know, they're probably figuring this will be used more to just cast out and let a bait sit in the ocean than actually like doing any active fishing with it, I think, considering like how stiff it is. But I'm sure you could throw a topwater frog with this into some heavy cover and pull it out just fine. Just another thing to consider when you're looking at these inshore rods. Standard carbon rods. I never did, but you know, some people do, and a lot of people were complaining that that initial guide closest to the reel is too small, and they've definitely alleviated that in the inshore rods. Like, it's a really big guide, and they also fixed the little they also changed the little hook where you could, like, I guess, stick your hook on and carrying your rod around. It is no longer a U shape that goes, you know, vertically on the rod. It is now more of a horizontal setup. So I guess your line won't ever get caught in there when it's, you know, when you're casting. And those are some design changes I've noticed that I think are made to improve over the standard carbon models. I don't know if they're going to fix that going forward, and, you know, new standard carbon models being built. But that's another thing I noticed. Here's my Ugly Stik Carbon Inshore medium spinning rod, and again, it feels more like a medium heavy, and I have it paired up with a Fluger President XL limited edition, or XT limited edition reel. That said, guys, that is it for today. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'll try to answer them. I have a medium light casting model coming in after I realized just how beefy these rods are compared to the standard carbon model. And yeah, I plan on taking these out for a spin on the water within a couple weeks, and I'll have a video talking about my experience with that. So Hey, I hope this video helped you make a purchase decision on your inshore fishing rod. Till next time, lighten up.
Hey man, what you fit for?
I fish for snakehead and accidentally catch bass.
Oh my god, you fit freshwater? That rat?
Why is that?
If you want to be the best, if you want to be professional, if you want to catch the big fish, you need to fish salt water.
I don't know about that, man. Snakehead get pretty damn big.
Let me show you. Oh my god, that's a monster.
Bro, freshwater sunfish is twice the size of that.
That's your personal best.